Welcome once again to another episode of A Scotsman Talks To. I'm your host, Calum Lykan, and thank you for joining us tonight. We took another tiny hiatus on Thursday evening just due to some unforeseen events. But we're back. We've got a fresh new guest, and tonight we actually have a fellow Scotsman. So, I did apply for subtitles and an interpreter, but it's come in late, so you'll have to get it in the replays, and everything will be there, probably completely misinterpreted. But to be honest, the guest tonight is much better spoken than me. He has a very polite, what we call the BBC Scots accent. He does it better than even me. He has been in theatre. He's a voiceover actor. I think he still is. I know he's been a child prodigy with the voiceover acting. He is ridiculously young in my standards because, most people are. But his family are very dear to me because I first met them at the Edmonton Fringe, and they have come to most of my shows throughout the years that I've been in Canada. But it's not about them. It's about him. It's about this young man, this talented, energetic, passionate young man, Connor Bewick. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce Connor to you, and we're just going to get this thing kicked off with style. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Connor Bewick. Connor, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Calum?
I am fantastic. I actually don't know. Do you guys watch the intro that I do? Or
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we love the music.
Yeah, it needs to get done. It's definitely needing a little bit of an update. How are you today? Have you been busy, working hard?
Hardly working.
Hardly working. That's what we like to hear. Now, Connor, I've given a little intro, just a wee bit of background, but I think it's only fair that you actually introduce yourself. So please tell the world about yourself.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Calum. I did like the BBC Scotland comment. Very nice. But yes, I'm Connor, born in Scotland, Clydebank specifically, raised on the south coast of the US and in England. So that's why the accent is kind of, not quite there anymore. But it comes in handy. I made sure to keep it when I moved here because I figured it would get me jobs, and I wasn't wrong.
Yes.
Feels like that's just about the only reason anyone hires me anymore. He's got an English accent. People will listen to him. So yeah, no, I've done plenty of work in Edmonton. Worked with the Citadel for a while. I did some voice work for BioWare. But yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Now, BioWare, tell everyone the name of the game because it's one of my favorites.
Dragon Age Origins. That was
Yes.
it was actually a phenomenal game. Absolutely superb. It's the weirdest experience encountering a character that you voiced.
I can imagine.
It's eerie.
Yeah, it's definitely an area that I love, and as I say, it's an area I look to move into. But I was told very recently that I'm a niche. I'm basically all I can do is angry dwarf. So, us Scots, we get stereotyped as dwarfs. I don't understand.
Typecast.
Yeah, totally typecast.
I blame John Rhys Davies.
That would be it. That would totally be it. No, it's got to be before that. So you've basically traveled. Your family live in Edmonton?
Yes, we live in Edmonton now.
Excellent. And I should explain the reason why Connor's family is so dear to my heart is because his wonderful mum and dad come and see me at shows. And that sounds terrible. That makes everyone sound really old. But they bring me Irn Bru.
Elixir of life.
Oh, it is. And if you've never had Irn Bru, folks, it's a toxic orange colour, but it is the cure for any hangover or ailment.
Yeah, just about glows in the dark, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. Lose a hand, just rub some on, it'll grow back in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good stuff.
I can't even describe the taste. It tastes like the color orange looks. Not like an orange, like a fruit, but just the color orange.
It's you're right. I've seen many posts of people all over the world trying. A lot of people say it tastes like bubble gum, and I'm like, no.
Not quite. No.
But Connor, you're maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to patronize you here. I don't know if you ever saw any of the really old Irn Bru adverts that I had growing up. I think your mum and dad and me are roughly in the same age bracket, so they'll remember them. But the old adverts with the strong man, and of course, what they used to say is, made in Scotland from girders, which is why it's called Irn Bru. Because
Yes.
apparently, and it's a secret recipe. I love it. But yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's where this connection comes from, folks. This bizarre sort of sequence of events where I ended up meeting Connor through his parents and blah blah blah. It's delightful. It's
Oh,
great.
yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Tale as old as time.
And hi Lorna and Douglas, and no doubt you'll be watching somewhere or catch it at some point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're watching.
Oh, fantastic. So let's get this on this show on the road. I think we could probably blether quite happily for hours about certain things, particularly because of the Scotland, the Scottish connection there. But
Yeah.
let's get on with some questions. So if you've watched any of the shows, Connor, I decided I would look at this questions basically taking an old storytelling kind of concept. You
Of
will be
course.
familiar with the fabulous movie Star Wars.
Of course, yes.
Which basically Lucas designed by taking what is known as Joseph Campbell's hero journey. He kind of basically took that kind of concept. And I looked at how the hero journey works, and it's perfect for questions. However, the challenge of this show is now trying to actually get beyond, I think, the third question in the circle of the journey, because I've gone an hour 43 minutes with Johnny Summers, and we only got 3 questions from that done because so many people bombarded us with interesting
Remind
questions.
me, how many questions are there in the heroes? Like, in your little...
It varies. It depends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could have about 10 to 12, depending how you interpret the circle and all the kind of sequential sort of events. And there's your mum saying hi. Okay. But of course, the best place to start with any interview is pretty much the origin story. Okay, we are being bombarded with superhero movies and all these wonderful sort of things, and they always have their origin story. So I think everyone deserves the opportunity to tell their origin story. So how did you get into performance, to theatre, to voiceover, and all the other amazing projects that you do? So how did it begin?
Okay, so all of the hardcore theatre nerds are going to be absolutely mortified by this part. My parents took me to see a production of Cats on the West End when I was very young.
I
loved it. We'd always owned cats. We'd always been a cat family, you know.
But not the new movie. We should probably put a disclaimer in here. The theatre production.
Mm-hmm. Nothing compares to the theatre production. Nothing
it is
compares
stunning.
to it, especially in its fixed location. But I remember vividly a moment during the I think it was during the first act, and I think I was maybe like 4 or something like that. I was very, very young, and this actress dressed as a cat, I guess she had nothing else to do, crawls out of a hole in the front of the stage and sits next to me. Now, keep in mind, I'm sitting in the front row, a little 4-year-old sitting in the front row.
Oh, wow.
And she sits next to me and starts nuzzling up against me. So I spent most of the first act scratching her behind the ears. It was a bit of a bizarre experience, to say the least.
I love that.
But that really did. It got me interested. It's the way that the theater is set up for Cats when it was a fixed production is there was no like openings to the sides of the stage. It was a solid wall with like a hole where like there's a trash can sitting there, and one of the actors would crawl into the trash can and vanish, and there were tunnels that would come out of the sides and underneath the stage, so they'd just be randomly wandering through the audience, and it felt so immersive. And of course, for like a 4-year-old who loves animals, this is just wild.
Well, I've seen Cats. I saw it in Edinburgh, and that did not happen. I am really jealous.
Yeah, it's original fixed production. It was insane. It was something else.
Right.
Yeah,
so that was your inspiration. So how did it go from there?
From there, I think my parents they realized I liked the show. It was very fun. So they started kind of bringing me to other things. I've seen Les Mis several times, which, that should be too deep. That should be too kind of like visceral for a little kid. I loved that. Oh, I mean, I went to theater camps, and every Saturday I was at it's across Britain, and it's like a stage school called Stagecoach.
Oh, yes.
One of the actual, if I remember right, one of the notable alumni of Stagecoach is Tom Holland.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're in illustrious company.
Yes, very much so.
Mm.
But yeah, so it really was a gateway, and from then it was nothing. That was the only thing I ever wanted to do. It's one of the reasons we ended up in Edmonton. Actually, was for specifically for Vic, the performing arts school here.
Ah,
we moved to Edmonton because of Vic, so it really has been a part of my life, and I try to kind of incorporate it into everything I do. A little touch of performance into everything that I do.
Okay, now I need to stop you for a minute.
Of course.
Where were you before Edmonton? Because that was right. So because we went from London to Edmonton. Was there any time in between, or are we literally doing that huge transatlantic crossing?
Oh dear Lord. Okay, so I was born in Glasgow, moved to San Diego, California when I was about 6 months old, give or take. Jacksonville, Florida, till I was about 3.
Wow.
And then I lived in a shitty little town on the south coast, my French, called Eastbourne. I think they also call it God's Waiting Room.
Yes, I know the one.
Yeah. 75% of the population is over 75.
Yes.
Very depressing hill there. It's old person's home, old person's home, old person's home, and then a cemetery at the bottom of the hill. Very poignant, but
Yes. Well, it's a short journey.
It's a short journey. They just roll them down the hill.
Yeah. Just go kart, woof, into a hole, boom.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and then after I moved with my parents from God's Waiting Room, Eastbourne, when I was 12, almost 13. And I've been here ever since. It's been almost 13 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Excellent. Oh, we're being asked, where was your favorite place to live then?
Oh, favorite place to live.
Where's it been out of all the places you've stayed? And if you say Eastbourne, I will personally cancel this interview, drive to Edmonton and slap you.
That makes sense. That I would deserve that. No, actually, I would say Edmonton. I would say mainly because I can't remember San Diego or Jacksonville because I was so young. But,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, Edmonton. I very much. It has a very up and coming art scene. It's the second largest fringe festival in the world. A year doesn't go by. Well, this year's going to go by without going to the Fringe, unfortunately. Yeah. But a year doesn't go by that I don't visit the Fringe. So.
Wait a minute. Did you say second largest?
Second largest in the world. The largest in the world is Edinburgh.
Yeah, I was about to say I did not realize that Edmonton literally sat back. And you know what's really scary?
What?
Have you ever been to Edinburgh for the Fringe?
Oh, I haven't been for the Fringe. I've been meaning to go for a while. I do have some cousins in there, so if they're watching, I might bunk with them next time it's on.
Well, if you've never been for the Fringe, what I will say is to actually have Edmonton behind Edinburgh, to me, is really funny. Because really having done Edmonton, it's small, it's compact, but it's a good size.
Yeah.
But basically, take Edmonton and pump it full of like steroids and super soldier serum and like irradiate it and then basically send it to the sun. It's like
go full
Edinburgh
Captain America on it.
Oh, Edinburgh is like just this disgustingly monstrous fringe beast. And I love the fact that Edmonton's the second because it's not even like 10%.
It doesn't even hold a candle to it yet somehow.
Yeah, it's like just size. It's crazy. Edinburgh's got to the point, Connor, where you have fringes within fringes within fringes within fringes.
Fringeception.
Over 26 days of fringe.
Oh, that sounds glorious. We barely get like 2-3 weeks here. A whole month of fringes, what you're talking about there.
Well, it is. I mean, that's the thing. Edinburgh Fringe is a whole month. And I think Edinburgh population something like quadruples for that
over
month.
The course of that month.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's great to know. Edmonton, you love Edmonton. And obviously I'm in your rival city. I'm in Calgary.
Down south.
Yeah, which I love because, as you'll be aware, the old rivalry between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I'm a West Coast boy as well from Scotland.
Oh.
So when I went over to Edinburgh, everyone was
Yep.
like, oh, you're a Ouija, you're a Ouija, which is a slang for Glaswegian for
Yeah.
everyone not in the know. And I've come to like 4,000 odd miles or whatever across the world to encounter the same
The
situation.
same situation. Yep.
It's crazy.
I think that's why I find Edmonton so appealing. It does have that same sort of charm, you know. It feels like home.
Yeah.
You know, the rest of Canada, everyone's really charming and polite. I feel like I'm at home. You know, everyone's an asshole here, and well, not everyone, but you know, it's wonderful. It's a nice little rivalry between the two cities.
Did you just say everyone's an arsehole?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that at all. No.
Canadians are so nice.
They're so nice. Oh,
Actually, being a new kind of Canadian coming into this country is crazy because I'm still Scottish.
yeah.
And I get told I need to stop being so Scottish because everyone's so nice. And I'm like, no, you will do it now.
No,
Anyway.
you need to be assertive.
Yes. Anyway, let's get back to you, sir. Let's get back to you. So you've travelled, your family moved around. Edmonton. Where was the beginning of your kind of theatre and production? Because when did you do the voiceover work? Because that was when you were younger, if I remember.
Voiceover work. I think I did that 2009. I
Right,
remember
so-
I think it was in my second year at Christmas Carol at the Citadel, and BioWare had approached the Citadel and said, "Do you have any actors who can put on a convincing English accent or British accent?" And they're like, "Well, we have an entire cast of them right now. We'll send them your way." So we went down. We did some like background noises and voices, that sort of stuff, and then they called up a couple of the ones they liked and had them do named characters. So that was really cool. I found out not long after that technically, because of Dragon Age Origins, I have worked with both Tim Curry and Kate Mulgrew because they both did voices in that game. That was the highlight of my life. That was absolutely incredible.
Nice. And
Yeah.
look there. Look at that. And you were a named character, if I remember.
Yes, I think the character's name was Bevan. He's hiding in a closet during one of the early missions.
I think I remember that, yes.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played Dragon Age.
Yeah, me
Excellent.
too.
So
I
that
think
was
give it a replay.
2009.
Yeah,
But you were
2009.
already in theatre work.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was your first production?
In Canada.
Yeah, well, let's just stick to Canada. Let's just make it easy because 13 years,
Yeah.
that's probably enough for most people to go back.
Oh yeah. First production in Canada. Oh dear Lord. It was Christmas Carol. I'm pretty sure it was Christmas Carol in
Nice.
2008 at the Citadel. And that was a lot of fun. That was.
And
I
what
got to
age
play a
were you back in
Ragamuffin.
2008?
Sorry.
What age were you in 2008?
Oh, I was 13.
13?
Yeah, 13. I think I turned 14 during the production, actually.
Nice.
So that was kind of fun, yeah.
So started young. Good.
Started young, yes. They started me off young. I had a couple of other shows in when I was back in Britain with my parents as well. Through Stagecoach, I performed with a couple of opera companies across in Brighton. Yeah, no, it was most of my my work in England was through the stage, the stage school. So it was a lot. It was a good jumping off point.
Excellent. And opera, I remember you saying that one of your biggest dreams in opera is actually to do what our previous guest had done.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I would kill to play the Phantom.
Yes.
I would absolutely. I'd do anything to play the Phantom. That is one of my dream roles.
Well, you know what? We'll put in some words. We'll speak to the boy.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, if we can get that going, that'll be great. I probably have to wait a few years for it, but I'm willing to wait. I'm patient.
Yeah, well, there's so many productions going on all over. So let me just check. Oh, okay. I don't know if you'll recognize who asked this question. Who would you like to play you in a TV show movie about your life?
Oh, that's my mum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I'm really disappointed. I was hoping she would really put you through the ringer, but
I
that's
know.
quite a pleasant
That's
question.
tame. That's tame from her.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to. But okay, so the TV show movie of my life would have to be musical, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't have anything else of anything other than that. I would say, okay, I'm gonna go for my. I'm gonna preface this. He's not really my crush, but he has played every role that I want to play. So yeah, he's my crush. Aaron Tveit.
Who was that? Sorry.
Aaron Tveit. He played Gabe in the original production of Next to Normal. Ongeros in the movie of Les Mis with Hugh Jackman.
Yes,
and he is
got
currently
you.
playing Christian in Moulin Rouge on Broadway.
Now I get who it is. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
That's
Yeah.
3
Excellent
of
choice.
the roles that I would kill to play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd get him to play me in the movie of my life.
Ah, nice. There you go. So there you go. Your mum's tame question has been answered.
Yes.
Oh, what has been your favourite role to play?
Oh. You know, so far I'd have to say Patsy in Spamalot. That was an absolute riot. It was so much fun. Who asked that one? Was that?
That was Sonia. I don't know if you know.
She was in that production as well. She played Galahad.
Ah, Sonia Gould. Yes.
Yes.
Lovely. Hi, Sonia. Thank you for the question.
Hi, Sonia.
I can actually put the questions on the screen, but I don't know how people feel about that. So I'll just do this one for Sonia very quickly, just so people can see. I can do this.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. But because people have profile pictures that are being shown, I'm not sure how people would feel about that. So I'm always a bit wary. I saw Sonia's is a wee bit cut off, which is nice. So you can't maybe quite see. So Patsy, yes, I did see. She's saying hello, by the way.
Oh.
I don't know if you've got any comments on your screen. I never know what people are watching.
Well, I've got 2 screens going at the moment, so I can check every now and then.
That's what it is. I thought you were just looking at your mum in the background.
Gosh, no, she's upstairs.
So basically, the whole principle of this kind of show has become this very relaxed idea. I have my questions, but I really like the questions coming in from the audience. So I try to always get as many of them in. Admittedly, your mum stole one of my 10 fun questions for the end. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so, okay, I've got to mention this guy.
Okay.
One of my good friends is making a comment here that apparently that we are both not as Scottish as him.
I don't know about that. I work in a store that sells kilts. That's pretty aggressively Scottish.
Can I just point out, this man is Canadian.
Okay.
His father is apparently Scottish, but they spell McDonald with a small d. Doesn't sound right to me, does it, Connor?
No, not quite. Not quite there.
No, I think there's something wrong there. So I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. But this is now 2 Scottish people saying the small d does not work.
Nope. It's McDonald, son of.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
That's it. Okay, what's this? What role would you like to play if you could play any role in any medium?
In any medium. Okay, so I've already said Phantom.
Yeah.
That's a role that I would love to play. In any medium. Okay, that opens things up a little bit.
It does. These questions are actually very open. This is quite challenging.
That's a challenging one. In any medium. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, you know what? I would love to be in. So Amazon's doing their new Lord of the Rings inspired series, and it's supposed to take place before the original, like the movies, the Peter Jackson movies during the Second Age or something like that. I'd love to play one of the Blue Wizards because you don't know anything about them. They turn up and then they wander off, and that's it. That's the last you hear from them. I don't know. That's just such a fun.
There's a lot of material to work with there.
Yeah, a lot of material to work with.
But as long as they don't do what Jackson did, which is effectively take a tiny short book and then just steal segments of and ram it into the
Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Yeah. I have opinions on that I will not go into.
Yeah, that 3 movies that made no sense to me.
2 would have been a stretch.
Yeah.
3 was just ridiculous.
But I think there was Silmarillion. There was just everything in there.
If I remember right, he got greedy. He asked for the rights for the Silmarillion and the specific version of The Hobbit that everyone grew up with, and was turned down because he got a little too greedy. But if I remember right, they gave him J.R.R. Tolkien's original manuscript, which is where a lot of the little side stories came in, I guess. But I still don't think a 10-minute chase scene in every single movie was necessary.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they do it in Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah, fair. But that's what you come to expect from Fast and the Furious. If you're expecting anything more than that, then that's your fault. That's like going
I've never seen them. All I know is there's cars.
Me neither. That's like going to see Pacific Rim and being upset that the dialogue isn't what you expected. It's giant aliens fighting giant robots. If you went in expecting anything more, then you're an idiot.
I love it. Oh, okay, Connor. I think we're going to develop a show together criticizing movies.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
We'll play devil's advocate. I will defend Pacific Rim. It was intellectually stimulating and very realistic desserts at one point.
Really? That's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sonia's asking another question. I can tell that Sonia knows you.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we have game nights like once a week with them and the rest of the Spamalot cast. It's great.
Oh, perfect. So, because as soon as I say this, anyone that knows Connor will know this. Because you love Harry Potter, if you could play any character, if they remade the movie,
ooh,
Sonia, what character would you want to play?
If they remade the movie, oh dear Lord, that's a really tough one. Yeah, she knows me. Okay, if we're talking a few years down the road where I'm a little bit older, I'm gonna go for Sirius. I'd have to go for Sirius if I was a little bit older.
Yes,
if they
sophisticated.
Them,
I like that.
Sophisticated, kind of scruffy. I don't know.
Yep. No, I like that. That's a good one. Cocky. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. If they made him today, probably Dobby.
Well, you see, I always thought I would make a good Mad Eye Moody,
Oh, you would? Yeah, I could see that.
Just roar at the camera a lot. That's pretty much. And go bug-eyed.
Throw a fake eye on you, you've got it.
Yeah, so, okay. We're really getting sidetracked here. I like these chats. This is the whole point of this now. I've decided to let these free flow. I had this very tight concept, Connor, when I started these. We're going to make this. And now I've just went, meh. Let's just see what happens when we get on here.
Let's talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to move on to at least the second question because I feel duty bound to at least try and get 2 questions out.
Okay.
So we kind of know your origin. We know where you came from. You're a travelled young man. You've done a lot of theatre. You've done voice acting. But in that journey, a lot of people who do performance and take on this kind of profession have somebody who helped develop them, who mentored them. They had their Yoda is the best example. Is there anyone that you can remember helped mentor you? Anyone that really inspired you beyond the cat? Sorry, just punching my microphone there. Beyond the cat in the show, is there somebody who really kind of helped you, developed you, brought you along? And kind of what experiences did you gain from that?
Okay. There was an acting teacher in high school, Mr. DC, and he was. I was in all of his acting classes, in his directing classes. He helped me kind of branch out from just acting, from just performing on stage. He got me, into the director's chair for a one act that I did in my last year of high school. He also not directly, but he kind of convinced me to go into backstage work as well. I think that for most actors, for most performers, and for like stage techs, all performers should have to take at least one class in theatre tech and backstage work, and all techs should probably have to take like at least one performance class, because without the two cannot survive without the other. you got to
Yeah.
they got to work together, and there's been too much kind of there's too much sort of spats between the two sides, like stupid actors, we don't need them, they're all awful, or stupid techs, we don't need them, they're awful. But without the actors, the techs would be lighting an empty stage, and without the techs, the actors would be performing in the dark, not even in a theater.
Yeah. Oh, we have an intruder in the background.
Oh yeah. So speaking of my love of Harry Potter, that's Albus.
Yes. And you also
They're
have
all named 4.
and they're all named. I know that 2 of them, at least that I'm familiar of, I've got Harry Potter names.
All 4 of them do.
Have they?
We have a problem.
Give us their names.
I'll go. Okay, so you've met Albus. He's gone now. Albus, Sirius, Remus, and Tonks. I love them all dearly. Remus is evil. No, Sirius is evil. Remus is beautiful. He's perfect cat.
Excellent. So you've gone for that. I just called my my dog Hamish and my cat Montague. Very traditional name.
Very good. I like it. Yes.
Excellent. So anyway, going back to your mentor. Going back to your development and your mentoring. So, what?
Of course.
Continue that before I interrupted you because of a cat.
Of course. But yeah, no, he kind of broadened I guess that was his job for, because he's a teacher in high school. His job is to broaden your horizons, make you kind of look outside of your box, try new things. He got me into clowning at one point. My graduation picture is me shaking hands with the principal, who happened to be his wife at the time, actually. Shaking hands with the principal when we're both wearing clown noses. It was something. It was still up on my parents' above their TV. So,
nice.
But yeah, he really broadened my horizons, got me out there and trying new things, and it kind of it persuaded me to put theatrical performance into every aspect of my life. So, and I owe him for that.
Yeah, and you have. I mean, I've met you in many different guises, but before we go on to that, I love what you say about the tech side of things and the actual performance side. Yeah. That is so true in so many places that it's almost like a great divide.
Yeah.
We're all in the same industry, but they will never meet.
Never
there'll be no football match on, on no man's land.
At Ibrox, Rangers and Celtic, Oilers and Flames. It's happening again.
That's it. But that's a very valid point, and I love what you say. I think both need to walk in each other's shoes for a while just to experience what it's like. Because I've encountered it, you've encountered it, and I love the fact that you mentioned that. That's a very, very valid point. But moving on,
of course,
because you just mentioned it, so we're going off questions again. You apply your theatrical, your performance in all walks of life.
Yes.
I've seen you in many sort of guises, but the one that I run into you most often is very Harry Potter related. So tell the world about that, because I think this is a fantastic thing that you do.
Well, I'm seeing it's kind of scrolling along at the bottom of the screen there. I own a home business that makes wands and potions. It kind of exists in the Harry Potter world. When I'm in the booth selling my wares, all of them handmade, I'm in a character, and I go to kids' birthday parties and stuff like that. And it's all very theatrical. All of the items that I create and sell have stories behind them. I try to, when somebody steps into my booth, I try to help them forget the outside world for just a few minutes. They feel like they've entered a little corner of Diagon Alley or something. So. But it's one of my favorite ones to do. It's a lot of fun. There's a whole story behind it, and everyone gets involved. And
what's the story behind it?
Oh gosh, okay. So the story that I came up with is very in depth. Actually, I'm very proud of this. It takes place during the last book, when Voldemort takes over the Ministry. Some of you may be familiar with that moment from watching the news nowadays. When he takes over the Ministry and starts tormenting Muggleborns and such, and ostracizing them, taking their wands from them.
JK
and
is
so
a
my
prophet.
character, huh?
JK is a prophet. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, but so my character plays, he was a shop hand at Ollivander's when Ollivander was kidnapped by the Death Eaters. And so he's on the run. He's providing wands to all of these Muggle-born stuff. He essentially arms the underground resistance. So when you step into the booth, it's kind of, it's very hush-hush. Don't tell the Death Eaters we're here. You ask the person a little bit about them. It's one of the coolest experiences because I've taken a lot of the wand lore that was written for Harry Potter, and I've taken a lot of the traditional meanings of woods from Celtic and native cultures and pagan cultures and stuff like that, and pagan traditions, and I've turned it into sort of a personality test. So I'll ask someone a couple of pointed questions about themselves, and I'll recommend a couple of wands. And the most incredible moment is when you hand somebody a wand, and this has happened a few times. You hand somebody a wand, they read the description of the wood and the core and the personality that will therefore go for, and they start crying because you've just nailed their personality to a T. It's amazing. It's absolutely stunning.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have actually been into the booth a few times, and I will testify the design, the layout, the theatrics are absolutely wonderful. It is a really nice experience to walk into. So I totally get it. And sadly, this year, you're probably like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's even the underground wand merchant has had to lay low at the moment.
Yeah. We've had to go even further underground. I'm currently coming to you from my basement. So,
But at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the Facebook page. If you are a Harry Potter fan, please head over and actually have a look at it. The wands, all the potions, everything are great. What I love about this is Connor being Scottish and doing this. Like our heritage in Scotland, we were quite brutal during the witch trials. So it's kind of this lovely kind of thing about, hey, we're trying to like apologize for our history, even though we didn't personally do it. But I always love when I hear Scottish people doing fun things like this because it's like, gosh, we were so awful historically. Actually, just awful in general.
Yeah. Anyone from that bloody island was awful historically. The English, the Scots, the Welsh.
Oh, I thought you just mean about Scotland because Scotland is an island.
Yeah.
We unfortunately just slightly connected by an inch of soil. It's a terrible thing.
We don't talk about that.
So somebody's now asking, what house are you in?
Oh, I'm a Gryffindor. I'm stereotypical Gryffindor. Maybe a few Slytherin tendencies. I can be a little vindictive sometimes. Very ambitious. But every test I've ever had, I've come up with Gryffindor.
What's hilarious about this is I'm terrified of snakes, and I am a full-on Slytherin.
Very nice.
Full on, and so is my wife. This is literally a Slytherin household, which is kind of funny because
the best way I've heard the difference between a Gryffindor and a Slytherin is after an argument, a Gryffindor will take great pride in slamming that door when they walk out of the room. The Slytherin will leave the door open, so you have to get up and close it yourself, just as a kind of final, screw you.
I like that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That would actually sum me up pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you had your mentor, you were developed, you were progressed, you've taken all your theatrics, you've moved it into this kind of wonderful project with your love for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
How long's Conovander's been going for?
Oh, I started the company in 2012. It's been going for 8 years now.
Snap.
Yeah, it's been going for 8 years. It's been steadily growing. It's been new lines and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. And you've done usually do things like the expos and a lot of events. No, wait a minute. I've just got to be careful how I word this. The witching and wizarding events that are put on, because we're not allowed to name them.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been to the two witching wizarding events that they've had in Edmonton around the Strathcona area. I do hope they put on more of those because they were very fun. Even the one where it was absolutely pouring rain for the entirety of it. It was still a lot of fun. Everyone had a great time. Everyone's in costumes and wandering around. I feel really at home. That's why I like going to the expos. I don't feel quite so much like the odd one out. So.
Well, that's it. That's the whole point. We are a strange race.
Yes.
It would appear as performers, we do kind of stand out a little bit more because we like to be a little bit more noticed at times.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a subtle performer, as you know. You would never see me walking down the street ever. You wouldn't even second glance me ever.
I don't know. You wear a kilt a lot. That's not really normal up here, unfortunately.
Do you know, it's kind of weird. It's not normal in Scotland either.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
People think that people have been watching too much Outlander. We don't
Yeah.
walk around in kilts.
Yeah, I made the mistake because you have a couple more projects, which we'll come on to in a moment. But yeah, in Scotland, the kilt's not that common. In Canada, it's not. The only place that I actually had the weirdest experience when I was in San Francisco.
Oh.
Because I'm walking around San Francisco in my kilt and not
Yeah.
a single soul is paying attention to me.
Nope.
And I'm thinking, this is kind of nice, but odd. And then it was explained to me when I needed directions. I got kind of turned around and I'm like, where am I? And asked this young couple. And they were like, oh, you're actually Scottish. And I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, no. Apparently in San Francisco, every man just wears a kilt because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just totally ruined my whole look. I was very upset about that.
Like, oh, now I'm not cool anymore.
Yeah, I know. I was so disappointed. Oh, now we have a kilt question. What tartan do you wear? What is your clan affiliation?
Ooh. Okay. The closest tartan that I know of that I can definitely wear is lament. That's what I wore to my aunt and uncle's wedding, actually. I wore a lament kilt for that one.
And what's the colours in that?
Sorry?
What's the colours in that one?
Colours, blue, greens, a little bit of black, a little bit of white as well. There's a nice little white stripe in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're Lanark, right?
Yeah,
I was just trying to think, yeah. I was thinking Bewick because I'm like,
Yeah, not a clan, unfortunately.
No, it must be a sept somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of kilts, speaking of Scottish, speaking of clans, you actually work in a kilt shop.
I do.
Which is called?
Well, it's a bit of an interesting one. Might not be that kilt shop may not be around for very long, but there is a kilt shop, an up and coming project that I just so happen to be part of.
Really?
Called the Gallic Guild. And that's we call it your Clandom and Fandom Emporium. So it's all things Scottish, Irish, Welsh, even Cornish and Galician. All the Celtic cultures come together,
Right.
as well as a nice smattering of pop culture references as well. We've got a GoFundMe going at the moment. One of the
Wait a
things
minute. Would it be this GoFundMe? Wait, all I can do is give you the scrolling thing. But wait.
Fine.
We can go one more than that, can't we?
Yeah.
One moment. I can do this. Ta-da!
Technology
Talk away.
is wonderful. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so Gallic Guild, your fandom and clandom emporium. So essentially, picture a nice British pub, a nice Scottish pub sort of environment. Very warm, very welcoming. But there just happens to be a TARDIS in the corner that you can go through to change. Kilts on every wall, T-shirts from all your favorite pop culture sort of areas. Kit you out for your upcoming wedding. We can kit you out for your upcoming convention, whatever you need. But yeah, it's a kind of a joint operation between myself and a couple of other local business owners.
Nice.
We're very proud of it. We've got a couple of good times in there. We want it to be kind of a hub for Celtic culture and performers such as yourself across Alberta. Doing like story hours, like what you do with the Scottish folklore and stuff like that. Doing Scotch tastings or something like that. I think that'll be really fun.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing that, I do a good whiskey storytelling session. So I'll come up and give you that if you're doing the whiskey tasting.
We'll be in touch.
This looks like a great project, and as you can see, folks, the one thing I've always said about this show, shameless promotion is a must.
I love this show.
all performers, all things like that, we need to shamelessly promote. So when Connor actually mentioned this to me, I had tried to see what I could do. And I this is the most basic thing I can offer, just so that you guys can actually see. The ones that are watching the video, obviously the ones that are on the podcast, a little bit more complicated. I'll attach a link. But there is a GoFundMe page for this because the guys are trying to get this up and running. I think this is a great idea. What's your time scale? When are you hoping, if you can get everything funded and going, when are you hoping to get this opened?
If we get everything funded and going, if everything goes well, we're hoping for end of the year, so holiday season this year.
Lovely.
Yeah, we've been in touch with the leasing department for the location we're looking at, and as soon as we get the capital ready, we have a location. We've got floor plans, we've got really cool sort of centerpieces, great sort of things for people who help us out. One that we're really proud of, we've got an Ogham stone that we're going to put in the center of the store.
Oh.
So if those of you who don't know, Ogham stones are traditional standing stones found across Ireland, and they have one of the most ancient runic languages in Europe, in the world, essentially, scrawled on the sides of the Ogham stones. Ogham, ancient Irish Ogham. And for those of you who donate enough, you get your name in Ogham on the side of this stone that's going to sit in the middle of the store forever.
Lovely.
So,
now, this isn't a real historical one, because I would have to pull you up if you're going and stealing stones from...
We're not stealing stones.
The old country.
We're making our own.
I love it. That's a great idea, though, because that that gives people that kind of memory as well, and also lets them know, hey, we supported and helped fund this wonderful venture. So kilts, fan memorabilia, t-shirts, whiskey, Conovander's going to be in there.
There is going to be local businesses. Connovanders will be participating, but as I said, the two other people who are very thoroughly involved with this at the moment do own their own home businesses as well, and their wares are going to be in there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're very excited, and we're hoping it'll go well.
So this is fantastic. I love this. This is a project very close to my heart, because obviously what I do is try and bring that old kind of Scottish Celtic stuff over here. So to have actually somebody else, but doing it in a grand scale where you're actually putting on a retail unit, which I will add, if anyone's unaware, retail is the finest staging ground for any performer. I learned all my performance skills from doing retail. So, when we talk about training and development and things like that in performance, go get a job in retail, in a cool retail shop.
Oh, yes.
It's got to be unique, though. It can't just be, a bookstore,
Lush.
Sadly. Yeah. I dressed as a pirate for 5 years. I sold alternative clothing and then medieval weaponry. You're selling
living the
kilts.
dream.
Oh, actually, you should look at that. The old militaria sales are always good. Get a few targes and dirks and.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got our eyes on a couple of good ones. There's a company in Scotland that makes ski and doos, but the handles are made from reclaimed Scotch whiskey barrels.
Oh, who's that?
That's such a cool idea. So we're trying to stock stuff like that. Something that it's new, it's exciting, but it's still.
I like that.
Yeah, I think we did some research on the demographics, and we found that people who claim to be of Scottish descent are the second highest percentile in the Edmonton area, if I remember right. Which we found absolutely astounding. That was mind blowing. So,
Calgary's very similar, apparently. Very high Scottish community. So
excellent. No, it's a criminally underrepresented sort of market. There aren't many places you can get this sort of stuff in and around Edmonton, around Alberta. So we're trying to, represent.
I like it. No, this is good. I think this is a great idea. So, folks, at the bottom, unfortunately, it's the weird link for the GoFundMe, but it will, if you follow that, it will take you to the GoFundMe page. Please, I appreciate times are tough. Everyone's in a weird situation just now, but we're getting back to normal. But if you can give something to help this fabulous project go, I will, if it gets opened up by enough funding, I will go and do a live storytelling show if there's space for me for free.
Yes, of course.
I'll do a complimentary to help the GoFundMe campaign if that appeals to anyone.
We would love
in
that.
full
We have a
kilt.
spot next to the fireplace for you. Yes, there's going to be a fireplace there.
Oh yes. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I've just totally hijacked your project there, Connor.
Oh
But
no,
basically,
please.
I'll
We were
throw
going to
that
invite
in.
you up anyway.
I'll throw that in on top of it. Basically, if this thing goes ahead, I will come through to Edmonton and basically just do a complimentary hour show, whatever, to basically entertain one and all
That'll
that
be
has
wonderful.
supported the project. So there you go.
I like it.
Oh, what is your next acting project you're working on? We're getting back to
Ooh.
acting. Someone's asking.
Okay. Next acting project. I don't have any at the moment, other than the Gaelic Guild and the Connor Vanders on the side. I am currently looking for stuff. I might have an audition coming up, so that'll be interesting, and I'll know more about that in the next few days.
Nice.
I've actually got to film an audition part for it, so I'm quite excited for that one. It'll be kind of a darker and kind of spookier sort of filming project that's been going on. So
that sounds interesting.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
going to ask a question. Going back to the beginning, voice acting.
Yes.
You did Dragon Age, but you don't seem to have done much beyond that with the voice acting.
It's a very difficult market to break into. After the success of Dragon Age Origins, they moved a lot of the voice acting work out of their Edmonton studio, and they kind of moved it to other studios around the world. So it's a little bit of a harder market to get back into, but it's a market I would love to get back into.
Interesting. So it's something
phenomenal.
Something you're keeping your eye on, but it's just because, yeah, I mean, you've got a lot on your plate. You're trying to,
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay, folks, I'm just going to say this. Trying to set up a retail unit is a really challenging thing.
Yeah.
This is something I used to do in my past life. So I get that, you know, acting, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm trying to, but because this project's going to be huge. You know, if this takes off and gets going, this is a lot of work. I've seen the plans. If you go to the GoFundMe page, the plans are there. Is that right?
They're all up there. Yep. I've got the floor plans for the walls, the storefront itself, the floor plan. You'll see me and the designer of the plans. Also happens to be my dad. We put together. We actually found the dimensions for the TARDIS itself, so that we could put together like an actual, accurate, true to life, true to size TARDIS.
Wow.
In the storefront. It's kind of like a centerpiece, that sort of thing.
So your dad's actually involved in this, and I didn't realize this, because I know that your dad is an exceptional craftsman.
He is, yes. He does a lot of the designs and such like that. He worked on the York boats down at Fort Edmonton Park, so another little bit of performing there. I definitely get a fair amount of it from my parents.
That is amazing. Well, in that case, folks, you've definitely got to support this, because the fact that it's a father-son combination here, working together with other people, and also the fact that Douglas's design work and craftsmanship is pretty excellent, exceptional. So this unit is going to just look spectacular and rustic, I'm presuming. So.
Oh yes, we're going for the classic sort of Irish pub feel to it. Wood beams,
sawdust and blood and snotters on the floor.
Sorry,
sawdust, blood, and snotters on the floor.
Oh, of course. Otherwise, it wouldn't be nearly real enough. You know,
I love it.
You've got to keep it realistic.
Excellent. The surprise tooth in the woodwork.
Yeah. No, we'll hire a drunk. He'll just sit at the bar all day and kind of grumble at people as they come up to buy their kilts. It'll be wonderful.
Excellent. And I'm just going to say, Chelsea, thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Chelsea. That's lovely of you. You'll find out later.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
So this is wonderful. I actually work with a few Scottish communities. The guys up in Sedgwick, the Flagstaff Scottish Society, I'm going to get their name wrong again, are a wonderful group. So I will also, I'm just checking. I think a few of them are actually on. So I'll push this to them because they'll be excited about projects like this as well. Because there's a huge Scottish community in this this country. I love it.
It's massive. It's absolutely massive. You've got all these places around Alberta as well, specifically. Like there is a little township called Lamont, just outside of Edmonton. So it's named after the clan that I'm most closely related to. There's all these different places around Alberta that are named for your Scottish.
I found Ayr.
Yeah.
And that's where I was born.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, what? Why would anyone name anywhere Ayr? I mean, the
Yeah.
original Ayr is bad enough, but to then bring it across the world.
Let's take this shithole and put it on the other side of the ocean in the middle of nowhere.
I know, it's just so weird. Oh, we have okay. Tea or coffee,
Ooh.
and what kind?
Oh, okay, okay. Well, if I don't say tea, I lose my my citizenship. So tea. Um, there's a certain type called Lapsang Souchong, and it tastes like a campfire. Apparently, according to oh gosh, um to it was Conan Doyle, Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes.
According to him, it was I don't know why my mind shut off for a second there, but
That's
according
okay.
to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, that was the favorite type of tea that Sherlock used to drink.
Oh.
So yeah, but it's absolutely wonderful. If you ever get a chance to try it, it's great. If you like a peaty Scotch, mate, you want to go for that.
I have. I've tried it. It's a nice one, but I am surprised because you could almost lose your citizenship by not just saying black, steeped,
English breakfast, orange pico. Next question.
just steeped and basically left the tea bag left in the cup, and
I'm already risking a lot here, saying elaborating on that. So
yes,
you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Arthur Conan Doyle. Now there is yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Okay, totally sidetracking this conversation today. So we're kind of getting in fact, we're at the hour mark almost.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
Wow, we got through 2 questions.
Yeah, we've gone through 2 of the steps. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's try and get through at least a third. Let's match Johnny. Right, let's put you on the level of Johnny Summers.
I like it. Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to be on that level.
So let's go for. I'm just checking. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Basically, everyone's career goes through one of those moments where it's just you hit that rock bottom. It's just awful, and you want to give up. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, actually. End of last year, it was very much kind of rock bottom. I just finished being in the production of Spamalot. I just finished being in my first burlesque, and then there was a bunch of personal troubles, and it was hard getting markets. It was hard getting productions to be in. So, end of last year was very much rock bottom. So, you know what? Like as awful as 2020 is shaping up to be, it's still not as bad as the last 3 months of last year for me. This is going pretty well, and getting some work done on projects.
Yes.
Sure, the world is ending, but keeping myself busy. So it could be worse.
Come on, you were born in Glasgow. I mean, you're pretty much made to be able to put up with anything.
anything. You know why Scots are so short? It's because all of the tall people got blown off of the island centuries ago. It's survival of the fittest. People with a low center of gravity, they survive to reproduce. That's also why none of us have any hair anymore.
And you'd think we need the hair for the cold and the damp.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why it migrates down.
Yeah. We basically we're like woolly jumpers down here.
We're very hot-headed.
Yeah. Tempers. Oh.
Tempers. Oh, yeah.
It's like, how do you know a Scotsman? He goes from 0 to raging in a...
Yep.
Just the simplest thing sets us off.
Oh, yeah.
God, so true. I love it. Oh, thank you, Connor. That's amazing.
Of course.
You're just making me laugh with these wonderful memory and thought processes. Where were we? We were talking about... I've actually lost my chain of thought there because I'm going through Scottish reminiscence. You mentioned wind. That's what it was.
Back where it's pissing down all the time, windy as fuck. Yes.
It's actually, when you say the wind, that's really funny because there's a story I tell, and I added this wee thing in it where they get to the Shetlands, and of course all there is those little Shetland ponies. And oddly enough, I came up with this great add-on once that basically the reason they're Shetland ponies is because they were once horses, But to stop them getting blown off, they dug holes and put their legs into the holes. And yeah.
I think I heard you tell that story last time. You did like a storytelling hour on Facebook. It was wonderful.
And it just that isn't even part of the original story, but it just came to me one day, and I just thought I've got to throw that in.
But it's accurate. That's exactly how it happened.
And they're vicious little bastards.
They are. They bite.
Oh, they're horrible
they're
creatures.
Small,
anyway,
kick.
I've just sworn on my show for the first time ever. That's what happens when you interview a Scotsman.
Yep. We bring out either the worst or best in people. There's no in between.
That's it. Yeah, we pollute them with our angry rage kind of. Yeah. Anyway,
which is strange
you're not an
that
angry
so
man.
Many
you're
of us
very...
over here.
Sorry.
It's strange that there's so many of us over here. Canadians are all so calm. Maybe
we
channel it all into the geese.
I think we've come over here to try and show them the way. Show them that releasing your anger into the atmosphere is actually good for the world.
My theory, I still hold fast to the theory they release their anger into the geese.
Oh, yes.
That's where
the Canadians.
They're terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand. It's like they've got bears and they've got everything else, but the geese are terrifying.
I would face a bear any day.
I would hug a bear.
Canada goose? No.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, I would rather hug a bear, but I've said that many times. I would literally run up and hug a bear. I don't care.
That'd be a good way to go. That'd be a good way to go.
Oh, it would. Oh, just cuddle. So. Oh, it loves me, Crunch. Anyway, let's move on. We've just probably gone on for about 5 minutes on nothing. That's why I like these chats.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's get close to the end here. Let's let you go and enjoy your evening. So let's just move on to our 10 silly question round.
Okay.
So what this is our 10 questions that I asked basically audience members to send in. I've kept the best ones, and everyone gets asked the same question. Now your mum has asked one of them.
Okay.
So it's only going to be 9 questions unless I can think of one.
Okay, all right.
Let's begin. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Connor, how do you feel about garden gnomes?
About garden gnomes. Tricky son of a bitch. I don't trust them in the slightest. They're always fishing, but they never catch anything. They're always wandering around with hose and wheelbarrows, but no garden work ever gets done. They're up to something.
You know what? I never looked at it that way. I'm now going to look at them differently. You're completely right. They're always faking activity.
Yeah.
But yet nothing gets done.
Nothing gets done. No fish get caught. No gardening gets done. What are they up to?
There's definitely some sort of plan going on there. Suspicious. Yes. This needs more investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pineapple on your pizza, yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
You put anything in front of me long enough, I'll eat it. Really. Like when I was a kid, apparently we'd go to Italian restaurants and they'd ask me what I wanted. I was maybe 2 or something. They'd ask me what I wanted in an Italian restaurant. I'd say a bowl of olives. And the waiters would be absolutely mortified because there's this little 2-year-old just popping olives at the table over. Like,
green or black?
I'll go for either. I prefer black. But again, you put it in front of me, I'll eat it. It explains haggis, really.
Oh, what? Don't know. Hey, laddie, watch it. Haggis is the gift of the gods.
It is. But you have to admit, essentially what haggis is you take a sheep and you turn it inside out. Like, it's the gift from the gods, and it tastes so good.
It's arses and eyeballs. It's fine.
Yes.
Originally.
No, it's a creature that runs around the Highlands, remember?
Oh, yes.
We got to keep that going.
Yeah, with one leg shorter than the other, yeah.
Yeah. But it's females, it's the opposite side, so they only meet when they're going around. That's when mating season happens, right?
Yeah, that's it. When the earth tilts enough.
Them. Yeah, that's how you catch them. You have to stop them and try and force them to turn around. You scare them, so they try and turn, and then they roll down the hill.
That's it. Yeah. They're fairly robust, though.
Oh, yeah. They roll down the hill, and there's someone waiting at the bottom to catch them.
With a big club, with a nail in it.
Because otherwise it's going to keep on going. It gets to the bottom and runs.
Little tricksy wee buggers that they are.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just like garden gnomes.
Garden gnomes, I feel have got a malevolent agenda. Well,
Mhm.
haggis are at least just innocent wee beasties.
Yes, that we scared down a hill and clubbed nonetheless.
Yes.
But
Well,
yes,
how else are we going to eat them? I mean, they're so
of course.
yummy.
They're so good.
Okay. What superpower would you have, and would you use it for good or evil?
Oh dear Lord. Okay. Invisibility. I'd like to say good, but it's probably going to be evil, but not like super evil, just mild inconveniences. You know, like nothing like really bad, like creepy, like going into like a woman's change room or anything.
Why
Like,
did I
no,
think of that straight away? I'm like, Connor, careful. You're tread
no,
lightly
right.
here.
Something just mild inconveniences. I'd go invisible and then like move a chair like an inch too far to the left just to kind of like screw with someone when they walk into a room. They're like, wait a second,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
like
I
shift
like that.
everything
Yeah.
just to the right on a desk. I don't know.
So basically, you wouldn't use it to save people. You would literally use it to make them fall on their backsides by moving a chair.
Well, if the opportunity arrived to save someone using invisibility, then sure. But like, how often does that opportunity really arise? And am I gonna really like squander this gift? No, I'm gonna have fun with it in the meantime.
You know what? You've sold me. I like it.
Yep.
You're the first guest to actually admit they would use it for, shall we say, less than pure intentions.
Well, yes, of course. Like anyone who says otherwise is lying.
Well, that's every other guest.
Ugh, liars, a lot of them. Tricksy as garden gnomes and haggis.
Oh, well, actually, somebody said you should be Peeves.
I should be Peeves. Yeah, you know what? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That was Sonia, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Sonia. Cool. Yeah. No, you know what? I want to change my last answer. I don't want to play Sirius. I don't want to play Dobby. I want to play Peeves. I think that would be great. It was an absolute travesty that they left him out of the originals.
Yes, totally. It was like ridiculous that he wasn't there.
You know, they had Rick Mail. He was cast as Peeves, but the kids couldn't keep a straight face whenever he was on set, so they just cut him.
And that's shocking because that would have been amazing. I mean,
that would have been he would have played the perfect Peeves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay. I'm worried about these questions. What musical artist is your guilty pleasure?
Ooh, at the moment, Ben Platt. Ben Platt is my guilty pleasure at the moment. Dear Evan Hansen was an absolute amazing show. I went to go see it with my parents. He just released an album, I'm not sure in the last year or so. Our boy Benny has definitely gone through a breakup recently.
Oh dear.
It's very much a breakup album, but it's very beautifully made. But yeah, he's my guilty pleasure at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What's your favorite kitchen utensil and why?
Favorite kitchen utensil? Oh, my parents are going to kill me with this. What's the one that they use? It's specifically for stirring porridge. I don't remember what it's called.
Really?
I don't remember what it's called.
It's a spurtle.
Spurtle. That's it. Yes, a spurtle. But yeah, no, that's such a wonderful item. That, and it looks vaguely like a wand, so I just feel more akin to it.
Is yours ornate? Does it have anything carved into it? Because there was a great tradition.
A thistle at the end.
Thistle?
Yes.
Nice. It was a tradition to make very ornate spurtles because it was a specific tool for the old
Maybe we
porridge.
should stock that in Gallic Guild. We'll stock like really ornate spurtles.
Yes.
Yes. All right. I'll put that on the list.
I love it. I love it. This is good. Spurtles need to be brought back.
Yes.
The campaign, bring back the spurtle.
Bring back the spurtle. Yes. Hashtag bring back the spurtle.
Or make spurtles great again. I know. Careful.
No, I like that one. That's a good one. Make spurtles great again.
Well, come on. Any opportunity to... Yeah, let's not go there.
to trounce the orangutan. I get it.
Yes. So that... Yeah. We try and avoid politics, but if anyone wants to know the colour of Irn Bru, it's kind of visible on TV.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable because I feel like I shouldn't like Irn Bru anymore.
I know. It's like, how can anybody resemble the colour of toxic orange? Anyway, moving on.
I'm not going to be able to see anything else anymore.
That's it. Basically, every time I'm going to take a bottle of Irn Bru, next Edmonton Fringe, I'll run into you as your mum might give me a bottle of Irn Bru. I'll just be like, I just can't do it.
This asshole. Just quick
it's just,
side note: did you see Irn Bru have released their own tartan?
oh,
It's hideous. It's
oh,
so good.
is that bright orange thing?
It's orange and blue and it's awful. If you get a chance, search it up. I feel like we need to stock that in Gallic Guild as well, just like one item in the Irn Bru tartan, just to say we have it.
There's so many garish and vile tartans out there.
Working in a kilt shop, I know.
Yes.
McLeod of Lewis. Bright yellow.
Yeah, the Buchanan
luminous
as well. It's a bright yellow.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I've got McPherson and McDonald.
Oh yeah. Those are
and
nice.
So I'm kind of lucky. Although my McPherson it's becoming slightly salmony pink and fading with the sun.
Yep.
But hey ho, we're men. We can wear that sort of colour.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we on? What question are we on now?
I don't know. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not going to ask the okay, we've done the biopic in your life because that's kind of what your mum asked.
Yeah.
You're stuck in an elevator with one person. Who is it?
Oh gosh, one person. Oh, you're gonna choose from one person. Okay, all right. You know what? I'll go for you. I'll pick you. You've had the great stories. You'll pass the time wonderfully.
I'm blushing. One moment. Don't let them see you cry. Don't let them. You know how long I've waited for someone to say that.
That's why you started this whole thing, isn't it? You were waiting for somebody to say that.
That's it. Yeah.
No.
Thank you very much, Connor. That's lovely.
Of course.
As long as we've got a bottle of whiskey in there as well.
Oh yeah. Bring a bottle of scotch with you. Tell some stories till they get the elevator working, or we plummet to our deaths.
Yeah. Well, oh yes. Well, actually, if there was too much scotch and like Scottish nonsense, we'd probably end up making the thing plummet to our death. Oh, probably. Look, we can unravel this cable.
Seen the voice-activated elevator in Scotland? It was a classic sketch.
Oh, it's beautiful. 11.
11.
I get that shouted at me all the time.
Yeah.
And also the biggest problem I do a lot of announcing for the Viking events.
Oh, very nice.
And they all do this mead, the honey wine.
Oh, yep, I know.
But the problem is when I say it, quite often people think I'm saying meat.
Meat? Oh, okay, yeah.
So people are like, why are we trying to get the Vikings back alive by shouting meat at them? And it's like, people just don't get our accents. Why did the chicken cross the road?
That's a very good question. That's a philosophical question right there. Why did the chicken cross the road? To buy another kilt. I think a chicken in a kilt would be absolutely fantastic.
I like it. Yeah. What tartan do you feel would suit a chicken?
McDonald.
Are we having problems here, laddie? Which McDonald?
Old McDonald.
All right.
The one with the clown.
Boom, boom.
That was really bad.
Yeah, I really need to get sound effects now. You've just made me realize I need sound effects for this.
You need someone in the back with just a drum and a cymbal.
Yeah.
Ready to go, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll get one of those deck. I've got a mixing desk, but I'll get one with the buttons that I can just push stuff and it's like boo and
yeah, I would have had to, booze would have been necessary.
Yeah, I'd have totally given you a tumbleweed moment there.
Crickets.
Okay. Which is the right way to put a toilet roll?
My aunt's going to disown me, but it has to be over the top.
It's the only way.
Yeah. She's proper handed. So her toilet rolls are upside down.
Over and under?
They're under. They go underneath. She swears by it. That's the hill that she will die on.
See, that's just, I'm going to be honest, right? We had air conditioning put in the other day. And I knew that they'd be downstairs, the workers, and I thought, well, they might need to use the downstairs bathroom. So I deliberately put the toilet roll the other way just for fun.
Yeah, just to
Like,
screw
I
with them.
did that just actually for my own amusement. And I swear, when he was leaving the house, he was crossing himself as if like a demon had taken over. It was, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. People are weird.
Now, if you look at the patent shows it over the top. That's the way
And it's like
supposed
so
to
much
be.
easier just to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, where are we? Superpower. Worst job you've ever done?
Worst job I've ever done. Worst job I've ever had? Oh gosh. Worst job I've ever had. There's one. I'm not going to name it. The owner is an American man who's decided to open a store in Canada for the first time, and he didn't do very much research into labor laws, so he keeps trying to argue with us on like what we're allowed. He just doesn't understand the business. It's really frustrating. It's, you know, people don't leave jobs because they're bad jobs. They leave jobs because of bad owners.
Yes.
So it's a little bit frustrating, that one. So, but that's probably one of the worst I've ever had.
That's fair, and for, you know, legal reasons, we won't name them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mention names.
Okay, you're about to get in a bar fight. I want you to picture this. You can see it happening.
Okay.
What is the soundtrack? What is the theme music that starts to play in your head?
Oh, oh god, I just had like 3 pop into my head at once.
Go for them. Give me all 3 then.
Okay, either Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John. That one's just like
That's good.
sort of like bar fight soundtrack, I think.
Yeah.
The other one that popped into my head was Salty Dog by Flogging Molly.
Oh.
It depends on the pub, I think. It would depend on the pub. If it's like a proper Irish pub, it has to be Salty Dog.
Yes.
The other one would be Free Bird. I think that would be a good one. It would
Very
take a
Devil's
while.
Rejects.
Devil's Rejects.
The Rob Zombie movie.
Oh, it was in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
I like it.
I was thinking more Kingsman. That first, like where they're in the
Oh,
church.
yes.
Wonderful scene. I remember going to see that. I accidentally took my youth group to see that movie when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good soundtrack, so I like it. And I like the fact that you're actually thinking of it depending on, okay, you're in a German bar.
German bar? Okay, it would have to be Free Bird in the German bar.
Right.
Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and just your average club, average bar sort of thing. But if I was in an Irish pub, which I probably will be, because it's the only type of pub that I want to be in, they do the best Guinness. It would have to be Salty Dog by Flogging Molly.
Okay, now what if you're back in Glasgow?
Back in Glasgow. Oh, Nelly the Elephant.
You know what? That's a mosh pit song. You're right.
You remember that one.
That would always end every night at the cat house and places like that.
Oh yes.
Oh,
that's how you end the night.
Yeah, I like it. Well done, Connor. That is a spectacular choice. And because your mum interjected with one of the questions, I'm going to just throw in a random one. Favorite whiskey?
Favorite whiskey? Oh, okay. It's between 2. I tried one recently called it was just last year. It was called Highland Park Valkyrie. It was a wonderful one. But just for everyday drinking, Auchentoshan and 3 Wood.
Nice.
I picked that one because it's within view of where I was born, is the distillery. I've toured that distillery before, and it was a lot of fun. Me and my dad went there last time we were back in Scotland. So
nice.
Yeah.
Highland Park, actually, I would never have touched until I tried. I think it was just a Viking one.
Yeah.
I didn't try. I haven't tried the Valkyrie,
Oh,
and somebody gave me a bottle of something called Ledaig.
Ledaig.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's from Mull.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm just kind of Ledaig. It's probably more Gaelic sounding or something. Your dad will be.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah,
I'll
I
ask
know
my
your
dad
dad's a
later.
Gaelic speaker, so there'll be
Yeah.
a comment thrown at me at some point that
I'm
I
trying
need you.
I'm trying to learn Gaelic at the moment. One of my favorites is the word for whiskey. It's
Mhm.
ushkabeha.
Yes. I was trying to learn Gaelic as well. Started it with my wife. I gave up because I was
Yep.
doing other things. She's still learning, so she's actually doing really well, and she's
Mm.
getting on at me because I should be the one learning it.
Yeah.
Because oddly enough, a lot of Gaelic words come up in my stories, and I
Oh yes.
know I mispronounce them all the time.
Yeah. I love ushkabeha though because it means whiskey, but if you translate it literally word for word, it translates to water of life.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, well, that's actually
Wonderful.
that is one of the terms that we gave it. The
Oh, yeah.
anglicized term was water of life.
Yeah.
Because we called whiskey water of life, sunshine in a glass, and of course, the church called it the devil's drink. So
Oh yes.
yeah,
Makes you
I
want
love
to
it.
drink it more.
Oh, I know. They don't understand. That just
No.
encourages us. That's just like
Yeah.
really well. Let's do this. So
Well,
that
that's
is
the drink I
our
want.
quick fire round, and I think you did exceptionally well.
Well, thank you very much.
You definitely did not make it quick fire. What I
No,
do love is
sorry
the
about
fact
that.
is there is a whole conversation about spurtles happened here.
Oh, there is. Oh no.
Justin is saying he definitely don't. I definitely don't know. Wait a minute, I'm just. I definitely don't know, have one, nor know what a spurtle is. I think he's added an extra no in there by accident. Yeah, but he doesn't know what it is and he doesn't have one. So,
Oh,
Justin, as we explained, a spurtle is for stirring your porridge oats in the morning.
that's literally its only reason for existence.
It's
So,
no good for butter.
Nope.
It's not good for your coffee.
Nope.
Right? You can't pound your mince with it. You can't
Well, you
mash
can
your
if you try
tatties.
really, really, really hard, and it'll take a while. But
Yeah. Spurtles. That's a
hashtag make
proper.
spurtles great again.
Yeah, make spurtles great again. And I want to see it on a baseball cap.
We'll get one printed for the store. Just for you.
We're starting something here. Excellent. Well, Connor, we're going to wrap this up because I don't want to keep you here all night. And I think this has probably been the most delightfully nonsensical episode where we have literally gone in so many tangents. It is
rabbit
unreal.
holes all over the place.
Oh, and I love it. This is what this is about.
Yeah.
But to bring it back, the one question I always like to ask every guest,
Of course.
and you have many layers to what you do, so I'm going to let you put this in anything, any way you want. I like to ask what advice you would give somebody coming into performance. But because you do Coravanders, because you're doing the new store, I'm going to kind of leave you to decide which sort of area you feel you could impart some wisdom to somebody either moving into one of those fields.
Okay. Well, I'll give you the same wisdom that was kind of imparted on me from Mr. DC, from my high school acting teacher. And it was, well, not so many words, I'm very much paraphrasing, but it was bring performance into just about everything that you do. It really gives you time, because as actors, you're not going to be working all the time. You're going to have dry spells. You're going to have spells where you don't have anything going on at the moment. So bring some performance into your everyday life. Go out to karaoke. Do some backstage work. There's always looking for backstage work. So take a course in theatre production, so that you're still in the theatre. You're still part of these productions. You're still creating art in your own way.
Yeah.
But I think that's the most important part, is just because you're in a dry spell doesn't mean that you're not going to make it. Just keep fighting your way into the theatre in any way that you possibly can, and bring it into your everyday life, as I've done with my business and stuff like that. But yeah, and I reiterate, take some backstage courses. It'll really help.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Connor. Wonderful advice. And again, a few people have already commented, great quote. So there you go. Words of wisdom from Connor Bewick. Connor, this has been a delight. I've actually, Stephanie's even said that. What a delightful interview.
Well, thank you very much.
Every time I do this show, it is becoming more what I want, which is this kind of
Wonderful.
just very casual coffee time chat.
Oh yeah.
With some questions if we can get through them, but also just imparting some knowledge and throwing out some fun and humour in, shall we say, a time where the world is a bit crazy.
It's a little wild
there's
at the moment.
there's a lot going on, and apparently you may be my last guest.
Oh really?
Apparently the Mayan calendar was wrong.
Oh yeah, next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
saw
can't
that.
remember what dates. I may have one more guest, and
I
then it
think
could all be over.
It's on the solstice. It's on the 21st that the world's supposed to end again.
Wait a minute. Let me just check my schedule. We'll
Yeah,
have
does the solstice work for you?
The solstice looks good, actually. I mean, it means you won't be my last guest. I'm very
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Our
Well,
next guest is actually Jeff Newman, a
okay.
wonderful mentalist and
Yeah.
magician. So
Okay,
you know
so
what?
going
He
out
might
on
be
a
able to
high note.
reverse it. He might be able to save us. Yeah.
Maybe. Worth a try.
Yeah. So the solstice, how rude.
I know.
I know. That means what? Like, we're all going to have our fires, and maybe I love s'mores. That's one thing I do
Oh,
like about. Oh, yeah.
Don't say that. That's my mother's trigger word.
Oh,
Anything to do with marshmallows.
marshmallows.
No.
Oh, by the way, Starbucks have got their s'mores frappuccino back.
I think I just heard her walk out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gone.
I am addicted to them. I get them brought home for me as a treat. But anyway, Connor, thank you very much for being a guest. I have thoroughly enjoyed this chat. I'm going to pop you into the green room while I wrap up, and I will see you in a couple of minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, Connor Bewick, a delightful gentleman from Scotland, from all over the world, technically. He's a well-travelled man. And please do fund the Gallic Guild. Do donate what you can to make this wonderful venture go ahead, because
Even
it
if you
sounds
can't
fantastic.
Even if you can't donate, I know times are tough. Share it.
Yeah.
Every
That's great
helps.
advice. Share it. Thank you very much, Connor. You have been
Thank
an
you,
absolute
Calum.
wonderful guest.
Thank you all.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. I hope you understood most of that, because I couldn't help but notice my accent getting stronger as that interview went on. That is what happens when I speak to anyone from Scotland. I can't help it. Connor has got a very lovely accent, but even I just can't help but getting drawn into the whole Scottish thing, because there's that connection when you're speaking to people from Scotland. So thank you very much for joining, folks. It has been a wonderful episode. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, as you can tell by the fact that I'm getting redder and redder as it goes on. My little room here has become a sauna. I know as I step through that door it will be an icicle, because the new air conditioning, we're still getting it balanced. It's powerful. It's powerfully cold out there. I'm happy to be in the warmth. But ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Connor Bewick, for joining. A shout out to his mum and dad, who are wonderful, and I love them to bits, because they always come to my shows, and you know, I just think they're a wonderful family. So a shout out to them as well. Our next guest, as I've mentioned, is Jeff Newman. Jeff will be joining me on Thursday, which is Thursday the 18th. So just before the end of the world, apparently. So he could be my last guest. Hopefully I'm joking. I'll be so put out if all the dolphins leave and basically this show has to end prematurely because of the Mayans. I mean, I will find them. I will hunt them down and have serious words. But Jeff is coming this Thursday. We've just had the wonderful Connor Bewick. If anybody wishes to be a guest on the show, if you're in performance or, you know what, kind of other fields, I'm kind of thinking this could expand, but I'm trying to keep it in that performance. But as we've seen tonight, retail, etc., does incorporate a huge amount of performance. So if you know anybody who'd like to be a guest, if you'd like to be a guest, my email is now scrolling, calumlycanstoryteller@gmail.com. Drop me an email and we will try and book you in for one of the shows. We are going to be running until the end of this month, 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they will be going in July to Thursday evenings, 1 a week, folks. Yes, I'm going down to 1 a week. I hope that's not going to break too many hearts. But that was always the plan. And of course, this episode will also be available as a podcast shortly, which you can find on iTunes, Spotify, Transistor. Oh, you know podcasts. You know where to find them. You'll find them everywhere. But folks, I want to thank you very much for joining. This has been another episode of A Scotsman Talks To. I'm your host, Calum Lykan. We've just had Connor Bewick, and I will see you on Thursday when we speak to our next guest, Jeff Newman. It's been a pleasure.